absolutely right. By going through the intellect, he somehow opens the heart. And it's an extraordinary thing that he's done, and he's a remarkable man. He does it ever more so in that child book, through stories, through his kind of whimsy and his heart, and he kind of really gives us a lot in that book. There's a lot, but boy, there are intellectual guidelines right there for everybody. And so if you are wanting an intellectual study, you got it. You can take any one of his chapters, his words, his a few paragraphs, and you can pull it apart intellectually, and you will really enjoy it. You can mull a few words over forever if you want to intellectually. It's beautiful, and if you do that, you will enter the portal through the intellect. You can, and it will be done, and he has that in there too. So you can get there either way, and that book will do it.
That's called Jnana Yoga, basically, or the way of the intellect. And there's all the yogas are basically, yoga means union. So when Christ said, "My yoke is easy," and so forth, he was talking about my union with God, which is an implication of mystical union or conscious oneness with God and everything, or consciousness conscious of itself is how simple it really is. We're just consciousness that a little drop of consciousness that forgot the true vastness at its source, basically. And all of this is to get us to remember who we are. That's the beauty of the heart metaphor. Your heart hasn't forgotten one iota of this thing. There are a lot of models out there, the holographic model. The one I prefer is the natural one, as Bill probably would have. It's an Eastern one where you have a spider web in the morning with dewdrops on every point where the web crosses itself. And it's no accident, it's a cross that's defining a point. There's a drop of water on there that reflects the entire web. And when
beautiful, yeah. And like science, the holographic science now with the fractals and everything, exactly, yeah, it all carries on, individually perfect, and every section perfect, and yet all together, and yet all one little drop containing all, and all containing one little drop. I mean, it's all there, yeah. And the world, like you say, all these descriptions, a spider web, you look at something like that, you look at the ocean and the waves, I mean, everything is a living metaphor for what the truth is, and it's kind of right before our eyes. If you look at nature, or just just look at life, this manifest life, it's all telling us, it's all the story, written in front of us, and we can read things and read this world, and it's all there.
Yeah, you can. You talk about the Bible. Well, this is a living Bible. We're right in the middle of it. We haven't gotten to Omega yet. We haven't got to the seventh day when it's all good.
Right. No, we haven't. But I think we're on the crux.
It's going to get really, really good, really, really fast. We just the only pain we suffer is clinging to. This is a metaphor I've always loved. It's like you're a building and we're all on the 99th floor, and there are all sorts of bells and whistles of toys for this level of spiritual development and or expansion in consciousness, and we just love our toys, and we're so hung up on the darn toys we don't realize there's infinite grace and toys, or whatever you want, ever-expanding perfection on all the infinite floors above, and at some point in time, Mama's going to have to take our toys away, and it's going to be painful for us to let go of them, but we're going to find out we come out the other side with gifts we couldn't imagine.
Yeah, yes, that is true. And there does seem to be a necessary, yes, I guess necessary, I don't know, there was for me a necessary having to let go of everything in order for this to again, in order for the phoenix to rise again, to come from the ashes to be born again. There is a resurrection involved. There is a death and a resurrection involved, and that is true. But I think that is just the natural part of it that maybe is not necessarily, maybe I should say, it isn't necessary for me to emphasize that point, because I think that point just unfolds in its own natural way as you take the journey, and it'll be there. If it's going to be necessary for anyone else, it'll be there. If it isn't, it won't. But I do know that in my life there was a definite loss of everything, a death of everything I was, and then a resurrection. So that was true for me, and I know that it's been true for many. And sometimes it comes, and it does come little by little. We let go, we let go, we let go. It can be a very gradual letting go here, letting go there, letting go of this, letting go of that. Sometimes it's a very sudden one. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it for other people. I only know that there is definitely the sense of resurrection, rebirth, crucifixion, dying, all of these symbols are so beautiful and so
well, they're all fingers pointing to something that's beyond what can be said ultimately, and ego, how should we say, the old man. Let's use old man in that regard.
Yeah,
the old man has
ego, because I've discovered that my ego is not, I can't find an ego. It's like it's all God, I got to just love it all. The old man is a little better because I can see this grumpy little guy. He's just always pissed off about something and hating everything. And so I like the little old man.
I think that's
kind of easy to, want to ditch.
It's all a matter of how you.
The old man, kid. Oh God.
It's all a matter of how you define it. If you define it, I got to get up on the cross. Boy, you can probably do 3 or 4 more lifetimes just on that excuse alone. But if
exactly.
So
I don't want to bring up the sort of crucifixion or dying or because the old man will grab a hold of that one. I'm just like, let's just stay out of there. So, oh gosh. Anyway. But,
I'll tell you the other way. When I was, how should we say, I was probably a pretty melancholy soul. I've been told by someone who might know that I was a hard sell on hanging around here. And after I had my bailout at 24 and was probably up to my 12th life by any relative logical standard, I said, okay, I better figure out who I am and what this is all about, because I shouldn't be here, like 12 times. So I finally it was a hard sell, but I had a melancholic, the singers, I love lyrics and songs, always did, but they tended to be very melancholic kind of stuff, like revolutionary kind of things, and I had a heart for that. Well, anymore, I can appreciate the artistic, I can appreciate why I liked it, but I'd much rather focus on the life, light, and love as opposed to the shadows that are only there to let me know or teach me that I'm life, light, and love. But here's an example of a tweener that came to me that really captures the spirit of what we're talking about. It's my soulful anguish, midwife to divine glory, cosmic labor pains.
Oh, exactly. My soulful anguish. What a gift. It's truly a gift. I mean, it's beautiful that passing through into the light. It's such a gift. And the broken heart, I will often call it the broken heart. Once the heart breaks open, it's like, wow, this is amazing. So yes, we let our heart break, and heartbreak is a beautiful gift. So there isn't really anything sad or bad about about it. It is a beautiful gift, and to have a broken heart is it's to be used for the beauty that it truly is, which is exactly what it is. It is broken open, completely open, and so that all of life flows through you now, and your heart is one big open heart to the whole wide world, and everything you think you lost, it all comes back. There's not a problem here. It's like, wonderful, wow, because once the heart is broken open, you realize nothing was ever lost, nothing ever died, so to go down that other side and say, yes, you have to die to the, I can't go there. But you're right, that broken open, and it's so, that is where it all comes to life, and
yeah, well, it's interesting. Jody asked me. He had an Asian lady he's been conversing with, and he was trying. She said she had a broken heart, and he was trying to explain, what that was about. And you just coined a phrase I'd never heard, and the idea of your heart is broken open. There's a redemption in that versus just a broken heart. It has left out the fact that now it's open to everything. And in terms of what we give up, we're attached to stuff. We define ourselves in terms of that stuff. When we give that, when we're forced, when our fingers are pried open and we're forced to let that go. Now you can let it go without having your fingers. All you have to do is understand the situation, and you naturally open your hand. And one of the other haikus was an open hand with a floating dandelion seed. As long as you're not trying to grasp it, it'll sit on your hand forever. But if you reach out for it, you actually push it away. So what we lose, if anything, is our limitations that are defined by our clinging to things that are we're clinging to images, using them to build a self-construct. And if we just let it all go, we aware that we're the open field in which all that's occurring, and then we are free indeed. And it's so happy.
Yes, exactly. And even the ones or the things or the ones we lost are returned to us.
Absolutely.
That's so incredible. You just go, wow.
Nothing.
Not only did I let go of one little thing, but then I got that one little thing back again, too. I mean, how beautiful is that? Plus everything else. Wow. So,
double wow.
all here. And that's what happens when the heart is broken open. And so, yes, the broken heart, the letting go, the dying to, however you would say it, it's such a beautiful gift. It is truly a gift. And that would be more the point that I would want to make. And hopefully I can make that in the book. And I got to get that book done.
Yes, you do. And I'm going to
get that done.
I'm going to be your auditor and start nagging you about that, because it's a key piece of the puzzle at this point in time. And in terms of priorities, I know you have life priorities, but that's a big one, and at the top-down level, let's put it that way. And one other one that talks about that, just to share some of this old poetry. They're like children, and you want to get them out there. This is another one that's, how should we say, from my darker ages, I guess. Auger of desire, sharp cutting edge of despair, bursting into light. It's like you're drilling through this bedrock. When you break through, it all turns into light.
Yes, exactly. That's it.